box seats. This is the best damn sports show on TV. Ask yo mama. What's going on, fellas?
What's good, brother?
Yo. What's up? We got T in the building. What's going on, talent? I see you wearing that bright yellow. What's happening, man?
Hey, this is one of my favorite T-shirts right here. You see right here? This is the "Give Me My Flowers While I'm Here" joint.
Yeah,
I love this
yeah.
It's a nice T-shirt.
I
Everything's good, man.
Yo, give me your address, man. I didn't even know you like flowers. I'm gonna send you something for Mother's Day. Mike, what's going on? How you doing, man?
What's good? I'm weird. I don't want my flowers now. I want y'all to be guilty, be guilt ridden at my funeral and be like, damn.
Hey, we ain't sending no Mike with flowers because everywhere he go, he got a fireplace. I'm afraid Mike will throw his flowers right in the fireplace, guys.
Yeah, don't give it to me now.
Hey, Mike is Hispanic. You send him flowers, that's racist. What you trying to say, right, Mike?
What you trying to say?
Yeah,
what we doing?
Hilarious. Amir, what's happening, man? Looking good as always. What's the deal, man? What's up with you?
Everything is good, man. It's good to be on here as always, man. I love chopping it up with you guys. So let's do it.
Man, 100% fire show today, man. We got a lot to get into, man. So listen, with that said, let's do it. Let's unpack this. Happy hump day to everybody out there listening. Pause. You know what I mean? Hump day. Let's get into it, yo.
You know we never said pause until Mike got to the show, right?
How about that? Yeah.
Y'all over pause button me. Like, Jesus, I'm scared to say
it. Yeah, but let's pause it, though, because we don't want no trouble.
Kids pausing me.
You know, in the age we living in. So listen, first up, man, we got the United States government has classified the Brittany Griner as being wrongfully detained. Now, this is a story that we talked about. They will actively seek to negotiate her return back to the United States. For those of y'all who don't know, Brittany Griner was caught with some illegal paraphernalia trying to go into Russia. She's been detained for a long time now, and the U.S. is finally getting on it, talking about possibly letting her go. So what do you guys think about that story, Talent? What do you think about the United States finally getting on this case, saying to let this young lady out?
Well, I think it's about time. I think it's long overdue, first of all, but I get it. This is so political that these political steps have to take place. And the beginning of all that is being recognized by your government. So the fact that the United States steps out and go, yo, this is a serious thing and this is how we feel about it, now starts the process. Because you see, they just did a prisoner swap with somebody last week.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Now we're doing this.
Dope. Mike, what's your take on Brittany Griner, man? Finally, because whatever she had, it wasn't real. Like it was like something that's in that vape thing, and I see that's something that you use on a regular basis, man. They detain him. I'm not saying that he got drugs, man. Paul.
Oh, no, I'm still on paper. I'm still on papers. I'm
just saying the vape thing is something that she has some oils or whatever. What do you think about that, man, Mike?
I think it's so disrespectful that they now decided, oh yeah, she's been wrongfully detained, and I'm like, duh. Like, how long? They literally told Lisa Leslie, and she admitted this in an interview, not to make a big deal out of this.
Wow.
They told her. They told the WNBA players not to make a big deal out of this. And this woman has been in jail in Russia. Like, I don't even know what they're doing to her, what example they're making her. And this poor lady is being sacrificed over this propaganda and this war. And I can't believe that this poor, and I know I had made some statements before, like she should have known better. No, she shouldn't have. This is ridiculous. She's a prisoner of war that she has nothing to do with. And I don't know how psychologically she's going to be able to deal with this when she comes back home. But I don't know how you make this up to her. I do not know how we make this up to her.
Right. I get it. Yo, man, it seems like it's politically charged. You know what I mean? Had Russia not been going through this whole thing, and the United States, the whole thing, I don't think it would have happened probably to this severe. What do you think about that, Amir? What's your take on that?
I think, you guys are absolutely right. I think, unfortunately, all these things seemingly now have so many layers and have so much, stuff that people have to unpack. But I think the biggest thing is, and the greatest part of it is, it's now being addressed. Hopefully, she'll be home sooner than later. And this should be a what you call it for anybody to. Oh shoot! This should be a sign for anybody going forward to know that you got to be careful. Look, when you're in other countries, please know their laws or understand their customs and all that kind of stuff, because obviously, as you can see, quickly something can change your whole life in the blink of an eye. So it behooves us all to kind of start to know those things as well.
Hold on, real quick, because I know Fig is doing his job and he's being the host and he's not being Fig X. If this was Mary Lou Retton, Olympic gold medalist, I want to know how long her ass would have been locked up by Russia. I just want to know how long it would have taken before a movement would have been like, you're going to get our sweetheart out of that Russian jail.
I agree.
Well, the truth of the matter is, the history of the United States, we've always been treated differently. But look, it's not too late, too little, too late. Thank God they finally getting involved and on their way to getting this young woman home, man. Who is a star in the WNBA? This young lady is a star. Unfortunately, they don't get paid the same amount of money as the NBA. So during the offseason, they have to go overseas to go play. And that's why this young lady was over there. But thank God that she's coming home, man. Let's try and move on to the next story. Talking about overseas, which is a nice segue, man. The NFL is slated to play 4 games overseas this year. The first one being in Munich, Germany. One of the teams that are going to be playing in Munich, Germany happen to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Tom is taking his talents over to Germany and going to play the depleted. I always say the depleted because they lost a lot of players. Seattle Seahawks. NFL in Germany, and it's going to be on November 13th. That day is very significant because on November 13th is the same day that Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence.
For our younger audience, that's an Odd Couple reference. If you've never seen the Odd Couple, please Google. That date is significant.
The opening credit, man. Yo,
that is great.
What do you have to say about the NFL playing games overseas? Let me just tell you, New Orleans Saints and Minnesota Vikings are going to play in London. Green Bay Packers will also play the New York Giants, and the Jacksonville Jaguars will play the Denver Broncos over in New London. These are the 4 games slated for this season. What do you think? What are the NFL trying to do? Are they trying to tear a page at an NBA's book going international or what?
First of all, you got me. You got me real good. You got me real good. I was hook, line, and sinker. Like, what happened on that day? Anyway, here's the thing. My feeling with playing abroad for the NFL, you got to be careful where you play. I know it worked a couple of times. Anything other than England, if I'm a football player, I'm not going. Like England, I feel safe. That's the motherland, so to speak. But when you start talking Munich, Germany, that's where all the killers in the movies be from. them dudes on Die Hard. Remember them dudes with the long hair, the villain?
Yeah.
Munich. I'm not going out there. I watch too much stuff. I watch all of those type of movies, the Die Hard, the Takens, all of that.
Yes. Olympus has fallen.
All the films speak from Munich or Slovakia. You know,
yes.
As far as playing overseas, certain places they sound safe. You tell me Tom Brady playing in Australia, I'm not worried about it. That's going to be a good game. But you say Munich?
Yeah, Germany. Pause. Mike, what do you think, man? What's happening, man? What do you think about the NFL going over into Europe, man, doing their thing?
Maybe I don't know what this says about me, but every time an NFL game is played outside of America, I don't watch.
No, it's a time thing.
Yeah, it's the time thing, and it just
Yeah.
looks weird. I don't care how much technology. When you watch the game, it don't even look like a professional game. It looks like it looks like a soccer ball should be rolled out at any minute, and they just change the sports. In honor of Fig X, I will tell you, in a league that is 70% black, I will tell you where a game will not be played. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
They
all
will
right, we
pick
gonna
any
leave it there.
country. They will play in Germany, where nobody gives a damn about football. But you know where they won't play. But go ahead, next square.
All right. You know what? It's kind of funny that you say that the games come on these odd times. The game's gonna play like 9:30 in the morning, man. So it is an off time for us. But Amir, what do you think about the NFL playing overseas?
I think, to your point, I think they are trying to follow the follow the blueprint that the NBA did. But I think the difference is, and at least, from what I've seen, unlike the NBA, when the Dream Team, obviously had the opportunity to do what they did, during that stretch, you then saw so many, so much film of kids around the world playing basketball in these various places. I have yet to see any football camps in any of these places that they are, now trying to expand into. Like this, I just don't see, kids or expect there to be an influx to Talent's points of Brezhnev Schnuckschnacken, is now a linebacker. Like I don't see it. I'm not saying that it won't happen. I just don't see it because those names are hard to pronounce. And they, to Mike's point, soccer is predominantly, this is the predominant sport in most countries outside of, the United States,
The
So it
closest
should
thing
be.
I think the closest thing that Europe has to American football is rugby. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That rough thing. But listen, I think it's easier for the NBA to be able to do something like that because look, at the NBA to put on a basketball game, all you need is a hoop and a basketball and a couple of players willing to play. The NFL seems that it needs a lot more organization to be able to put that whole thing together. But listen, we're talking about the NFL, and something that struck me, man, just absolutely amazing. The NFL is slated to hire 10 new officials for this particular season. And now I don't want to say this, but I had to go out and let it out. One of the officials just happens to be the first Asian American official. You want to tell me what you think about an Asian being an NFL referee and happens to be Vietnamese? Now you know what the Asians get a bad rap for, man. So we're gonna have one as a referee talent. Come on, man. Help me out with this one. An Asian referee?
From Munich. A Vietnamese from Munich is going to officiate games. It's a hell of a stretch. Hey, on some real stuff though, bro. I think this is inclusion. And we always screaming and crying and bitching and moaning about inclusion and diversity and all that. So I think this is cool. And they picked a good Asian. I hate to say it like that, but like Filipinos, they're considered good. The ones you're scared of is like the Japanese, because even when they're happy, they sound threatening. And that was Happy Birthday.
Oh man. Man, I can't listen. If this Asian messes up any kind of cause whatsoever, I can see it. The racism is gonna come out hook, line, and sinker. There's a lot of people lose their jobs over this dude. Mike, what you think?
I don't know. I don't. You ever know you don't want to get in trouble? You're like, I just don't want to get in trouble. I don't. Like, this is a loaded question. Like, this is what kills me about the executive producer of this show, Frank Holder. He gets mad at us when we go off the rail, right? And then he puts a question like this for us to be like, well, what do you think about the first Asian official in the NFL? I just hope he doesn't bootleg the outfit. I don't know. I don't know.
He be outside selling referee jerseys. Hilarious.
Yes, authentic. Go, Amir, you go. Your turn.
Amir, what you think about the first Asian referee
It's,
in the NFL? Come on, man.
it's interesting because I know you guys do this and I do it as well. I'm trying to figure as many times I've been at Buffalo Wild Wings or any of the other places that you go and watch the game. Do I ever remember seeing Asian people in there watching the game? But I'm assuming that they do. So it lends the reason that we got to cross this barrier at some point, and now seems to be the perfect time. So I'm looking forward to it because, like you said, Fig, I can't wait to see if there are any blown calls and what the memes are and all the funny stuff that's
Oh
going to
my
happen behind that.
God.
So
Oh my God, man. Listen, they already call referees blind. You can't see what's wrong with you. You need a dog. What's kind of funny, it's the same thing they say about Asians, which is kind of crazy, man. Look, it's just ironic that we got an Asian official. Listen, before we go into the NBA, I just want to tell y'all about one feel-good story that so happened with the Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. There was Aaron Judge hit a home run, and a fan from one of the Blue Jays caught the ball and happened to give it to a kid who was a New York Yankees fan. This kid absolutely lost it, man. He was crying. He was in tears. He was so happy. He gave the guy a hug, man. This is a feel-good story. Tell him what.
Hold up. Did you see the video?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Yo, you got to see the video. He didn't want to get his kid that ball. Yo, I respect the video because your son was mad excited when it dropped down, first of all. So everybody's doing this and he comes up with it like, yeah, but he sees the camera smack on him. So he go from right, you go, yeah. Here you go, little guy. You didn't want to get that wrong, son. You gotta see the footage. God bless his heart. I mean, the kid was a Yankee fan. He had his Yankee garb on. And more importantly, I think what made it feel good wasn't just that he gave him the ball, the kid's reaction. The kid was in tears. He reached out, hugged this man, and just started bawling and crying and holding the ball. Like, well, you got to see the footage of the initial grab that. I got it. Like, he looked like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. He's like,
Mike, come on, man. I see you. I see you jumping at the pit, Mike.
God bless that man, because I don't know how many baseball games y'all been to, but when you go to baseball games, I don't care how old you are, when a foul ball comes to you, it's survival of the fittest. Like,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I'm elbowing pregnant women. Like, I paid my money. I'm going for this foul ball. But I get what, and Talon is absolutely right. That would have been my same reaction. I'm like, I got to get this kid the ball. Like, if that camera wasn't there, I would have just bought that kid a hot dog. Like, I would have been like, no, you can't have the ball. But it is nice. Like, it turned out to be nice. And I'm just, Talent watches movies for real, because when he refers to a movie scene, he knows the names of the characters. Absolutely. He's as bad as Fig saying Felix Unger. Like,
how about this? I got another one. Amir, before I throw it to you, you know what this reminds me of the Mean Joe Green commercial where the little kid gives him a Coke, and then Mean Joe Green turns over and hands him his jersey. He's like, "Thanks, Mean Joe." Come on, Amir, this is feel good, man. Come on.
It's so crazy, Fig, is that's exactly what I was gonna bring up too, because I was thinking that as you said the story, I was like, yo, that reminds me of the Mean Joe Green commercial. But you know what, man, in this day and age, and with all the craziness going on, obviously it's always great to hear a story like this for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it shows that we still do, to some degree, have a level of humility.
Yes.
And then the second thing is, you have no idea how impactful that moment might be for that kid. Some years from now, he may be a baseball star of some sort or whatever, and you know what I mean. He'll remember that moment. So that's dope. You know what I mean? It's really dope.
And for our younger audience members who aren't in their 40s. Mean Joe Green was not a mafia hitman. He was a Hall of Fame defensive player for the Steel Curtain. Just to let y'all know, he was amazing. He was one of the greatest ever.
And he didn't wear green.
And he never wore green.
And never wore green.
Ever.
That was just his last name. Listen, man, let's jump into the NBA, man, because I know y'all saw the games. Like I watched, I hope everybody watched these games because they were absolutely barn burners, man. I don't care whether you was going for the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, whether you was going for Memphis or you was going for Golden State. These games was off the chain. Let's start out with the first one, man. The first game on the docket, on the ticket, was the Boston Celtics, man, against the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo against Jaylen Brown. Game was just absolutely off the chain, man. The Celtics hit about 153 pointers. They looked like the Golden State Warriors to me. I was like, who, like, and they had role players that was knocking down 3-pointers like they were stars, man. Talent, man. Talk to me, man. This game was incredible, man.
Well, first of all, this is why I love the playoffs this year. What we think to expect is not what it be. Like, you couldn't tell me last night that was going to be the most exciting thing to watch, but it was the Golden State game. The Celtics game ended up being a blowout. People catching fire, like you said, many threes. First of all, my favorite player is Brown, so to see him shine that light like he did last night was awesome. But it was an intense, tight game like the next game would be. You know what I mean? So I look forward to, because I think that's splitting the game at home, winning one and losing one. I think that series is now just getting started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of Jaylen Brown, man, Jaylen Brown had 25 points in the first half. Man, that sounds like something that Klay Thompson would have did. Mike, talk to me, man.
Yeah, I realized my gambling problem was out of control yesterday because I placed a bet on Milwaukee when they were down by like 20. Like, for some reason, I said, let me just make this interesting. And I placed a bet just to see if they could come back and get – obviously, they didn't. If you hit 23 pointers in the NBA, you're going to win. Like, this series is this simple. The Bucks are going to let the Celtics hit 3-pointers. If they make them, they got a chance to win. If they don't, they get blown out. And last night, everything was going in. Like like you said, role players were knocking them down. If I was Jaylen Brown, I would have been a little salty in the second half. I hit 25 in the first half, and y'all don't give me the ball to at least hit a 40 piece on these dudes. You wind up with 30. But I get it. It's not about me. But, it is about me if I was Jaylen Brown. But listen, man, this series is like Taylor said, is on now. They split.
It's on now.
It's on now. Now, Boston has got the momentum. They go into Milwaukee. If they steal that first one, now we're looking at least a 6 or 7 game series, which the NBA loves. So let's go get it.
The funny thing about it is, man, it's like, you expect it. If they're going to have, if the Boston Celtics are going to have a good game, you expect Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to do the damn thing. But the others showed up last night. Al Horford turned back the clock, man. It just had everybody that participated in this game, man. And they played team ball. I love team ball, man. You know what I mean? I hate the star player. They played like a team. And that's what I love about the game, man. Amir, tell me what you thought about the game last night, man.
Man, first of all, to see Jaylen Brown cooking the way that he was cooking in that first half, man. You guys are sports figures, I'm sure, of some sort, or sports players of some sort. And there's nothing like getting in that zone. And that's what we saw in that first half with Jaylen Brown, which was incredible to watch. Everything that he put up seemed to be going down. It didn't make a difference if it was a 3, if he took it inside, whatever he, decided to do, it went. But to your greater point, Fig, you're right. It was great to see team ball. One of the misnomers, has been over the last few years is, everything is 3-oriented. And, Mike alluded to it a moment ago. But still, layups still count. Blocks still count. The 15 to 17 footers still count. So to see teams getting back to that kind of basketball and that kind of ideology as far as the game goes is really fun to watch. Because I was just sick and tired of seeing cats chuck up threes, and then when they're not falling, we sitting at home going, if they put up another 3, I'm gonna smack somebody. Like, it's the work. So it's great to see, basketball as a whole making a comeback, meaning the game as it should be played. So I enjoyed that thoroughly last night.
Absolutely, man. And they did it all without one of their heart and soul of the team, Marcus Smart. Let's give a little love to Ime Udoka making some adjustments during the second game. What do y'all think about the series going forward, man? Like, they're tied 1-1. My personal feeling, I feel like Milwaukee came and did what they're supposed to do. You go on the road, your thing is to at least steal one, possibly two, before you go back home. I think Milwaukee did their job. Some people say that Boston has the momentum. What do you think about that, Talon?
Well, I don't agree. It's the playoffs, and we got to look at each series and each team in their home court. You know, you going back to a hostile environment, a championship hostile environment by going back to Milwaukee. So I don't think it's just holding court. Like once you lose that home game, bro, everything shifts. If your team's not able to steal one back off their floor, that's your ass.
Yeah,
that's that simple. Numbers don't lie. It ain't but a 7. They only go 7. So you got it coming in. You go home. Your first 2 games at home. You never want to lose a game in the crib in the beginning.
Right. Mike, what you think, man? Talon said that he thinks that Milwaukee probably has an edge because they took one on the road. What you think?
I think that's, they do have an edge on that. I think what Boston did in yesterday's game was for the first time, a team made Milwaukee miss Middleton. And what's going on is that Grayson Allen has been having some good games, but all of a sudden Grayson Allen is starting to feel the pressure of you have to score 20. Like this is not a good feel good thing if you score 20, like as an additive. No, now we need you. Like Grayson Allen was missing free throws.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he was missing free throws. And that is the crucial thing that we miss a guy like Middleton, because a guy who's he's always there with 18 to 20 points. He's never the flashy guy. He's never the guy that we're going to talk about after the game, but it's always 20. It's always 20. It's always 5 assists. It's always 8 rebounds. And now Grayson Allen's being asked to do the same thing. I still give Milwaukee the advantage, but if they can really put the pressure and Grayson Allen doesn't step up, it could be a 7-game series.
Yeah, man, that's big time, man. Middleton is the definition of consistency. When he's out there, man, you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna get 20 points from Middleton. Amir, I gotta ask you this question, man. Here's one thing that we always say about basketball. You probably know better than anybody. Stars show up whether they're at home or whether they're on the road. The role players are the one who seems to play best at home. Mike just talked about Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen we would consider a role player, comes off the bench. He's going home. Do you expect Milwaukee's role players to do better once they finally get home in Milwaukee? What you think about that, Amir?
Oh, yeah. I definitely always expect the role players to play better at home. There's just, first of all, there's always just the idea of knowing your gym. There's the idea of knowing and having your home crowd, and then, sleeping in your own bed. And there are just so many advantages. You got friends and family who now show up. So, you kind of got that. And, to Talon's point, it's a championship energy in that space. So those guys get to go home and offer their championship energy and their home court advantage. And that's always big, especially for the role players. Like you said, superstars, they find ways and things to trigger them, when they go on the road. But role players don't always have that same mindset. So I look to him playing much better now that they're going back home.
Yeah, man, something else I got to point to, man. Yesterday, the Boston fan base was the absolute 6th man in that game yesterday, because it was so damn loud. I don't know if anybody got like surround sound or where you was watching the game, but I had my surround sound on, man. They were so damn loud yesterday. It was deafening, man. Like if you trying to communicate to your other teammates and stuff like that, with the way that fan base was screaming, it was absolutely crazy. And they was getting to Giannis because when he was on the foul line, they were counting. You remember how they, like before, they would count like 1, 2. Yo, it was absolutely maddening yesterday, man. Great game. I can't wait to Saturday, man, to see game 3, man. It's going to be off the chain.
Out to the Boston fans, because that N-word was coming out my surround sound crispy. Like, it was amazing. Like, I was like, wow. I was offended. I was like, damn. Who y'all talking to?
Yo, so listen, man, before we move on to the next game, which was absolutely crazy, had a whole lot of sub-stories, I just want to shout out Miami's Tyler Hero for winning Sixth Man of the Year award, man. Tyler Hero, man, got a great name for a basketball player, a hero. He's the first player in Miami history to win the Sixth Man award, man. What do y'all think about that?
Well, first of all, who makes these dates where they drop what are you dropping, albums? Like, I feel like Adam Silver's dropping records. Like, so-and-so won the most improved player. And you just go and watch a couple of playoff games, and then next Tuesday, defensive player here gonna go to my man over here. Who's dropping these jokes? Why we can't just get to the end of the season and go have like a thing and they give these awards out? Y'all, I swear to God, this comes so random.
Yeah,
like I've been talking all night. I wake up and get a coffee. Yeah, you heard your man. Your man got most valuable player. Who dropped this album?
Yeah.
When did they go in the studio, fam? So when did this drop?
It happened Tuesday. It happened yesterday.
It was
Tuesday morning. Just out of nowhere, man. And they did it in the morning, so it wasn't like before the game and nothing like that. You would think that if you're gonna get the Sixth Man award, you would do it before the game, right? That would be an award that you would give out before.
I'm going in the lab. Yo, Mike, I'm going in the lab. I'm putting something together. I'm dropping my phone Tuesday. Who keep dropping these records, B?
Yo, so that was Tyler Hero, man. Sixth Man of the award. Listen, Sixth Man of the Year award. Congratulations to Tyler Hero. Miami's in contention, man. I mean, they not out of it. You never know what Miami could do, man, because they got them goons from Dade County, man. They got some dogs over there, man. Let's see who between Milwaukee and Boston. I think Miami's gonna take it because Joel Embiid is injured. I don't think the Sixers can match up with him. So I think Miami's gonna get through. But
I got a question. Wait, what date do the MVP drop?
Listen, I think they already did. They didn't do. Did the MVP?
Nobody knows.
I don't know. I don't know who won. All I know is during the game, Taylor's right. During the game, they were talking about Drew Holiday, and it was like, he won Teammate of the Year. I'm like, when? When? It just. And how do you get nominated for that? Like, how do you decide who the team?
The players vote. The players vote on
Hold
that.
on.
That's a player vote thing.
Here's my thing. Who voted you that if your team wasn't involved?
I don't know.
The only person that could make you teammate of the year
is your teammates. Yeah.
These Negroes is dropping albums, B.
Hilarious. You guys see what the problem is. You guys are not checking Billboard. All this is on the back of the Billboard.
No, real talk. I heard in order to find out who wins the award, you got to go on Spotify. Like, it's crazy.
Oh my God,
you got to listen close to a Jay-Z lyric.
He's like,
you got to go on Spotify. You got to have a flat screen TV and a fireplace. Mike, you got the information.
I don't get. I've been watching the NBA all my life. I still don't get how it works.
Yeah, you never know when these awards coming out. It's not like they have a big ceremony, man. It's crazy.
Yo, Ivan Silver smoking weed. That's what's going on.
You never know, man. You never know. He might be doing something, man.
Yo, Adam Silver, I heard he was smoking a blunt, and he just randomly was high and said, "Hey, man, we should get him the Sixth Man of the Year award." And somebody say, "Well, he's the seventh man." Nobody's going to check.
Now tell me, he smoked a joint and went to Subway and said, "Yo, let's pick Hero."
They said, you can just call it the Steph Curry of sandwiches. He said, you could, but I'm not.
Yo, man, let's move on to the next one, man. We got to talk about this one, man. The Memphis Grizzlies against the Golden State Warriors, man. Now, this game was tight. Pause. This was a tight game, man. It went down to the wire, man. These guys were playing to the very end. In the beginning, a lot of stuff happened, man. Memphis seemed like they were playing extremely aggressive, which you expect them to do. A young team trying to knock off a three-time champion, but one of the players got hurt. Gary Payton, the third or the second.
Right.
Gary Payton got injured. He got hit in the head, fell to the ground. I think he got a fractured elbow. That was the first thing. Him got injured. He was knocked out of the game. Going for a rebound, Draymond Green got elbowed in the eye, stitches, the whole thing, blood running down his face, had to go out. The game goes on, and we have a barn burner. Ja Morant goes absolutely crazy, drops 47 points. Everybody was talking about Ja Morant was coming as emerging as a superstar in this league, man. Talent. Tell me, man, what do you think about this?
Well, first of all, he's arrived. No if and but about it. I really like this dude. I want to like him. I really want to like him, but it's like my son. I gotta wait till this haircut phase go. These ponytails. As soon as I gotta watch him in like increments because I can't. And then he don't let him get happy and do one of them little kiddie dances, poke his butt out. Anyway, the kid has arrived, and he's put the league on notice. What I did like about this game was he got a chance to pay Steph back, and he let us inside of that little taunting world, that little trash talk world. And he was like, at the game one, Steph said to him, "Yeah, it's gonna be a nice battle. Let's have some fun out here. Yeah, it's gonna be a war." And he said, second game he had the opportunity because they won to go back and say it to Steph, like, "Yeah, let's have some fun."
Yeah, man.
So yeah. I like that. I like that little back and forth with play. That makes basketball exciting. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? You know what about that is though? Although it's real competition, they seem like they have a certain amount of respect for each other, and that was real cool about that one, man. Yo, man, tell me, Mike, 47 points. And I mean, he did it. I was starting to say in the hole, but then I had to say pause. I mean, he did it. He did it. He did it at the rim. Damn. And no matter what you say, it comes out wrong, right?
Jesus.
He drove to the basket. How about that? He drove to the basket. He was making like incredible move, twists, turns, like up in the air. Like he almost looked like a small version. Remember how Michael Jordan used to be in the air, and then a guy bump him, and then he move his arm around, and he make the. I'm not calling the dude Michael Jordan. Please don't. That's not what I'm saying. But he just seemed extremely creative. And then he was even knocking down 3-pointers at an incredible clip. Mike, tell me, what do you think about this game? And Ja Morant he emerged, man. He doing the damn thing.
Ja did his thing, 47 points the whole nine. I will say this to all my cats who are 40 and over. So far in the playoffs, Joel Embiid had his face broken. Draymond Green had a concussion and got stitches over his eye. And the guy has a fractured elbow. Say what you want about the regular season, but ain't no softness in these playoffs. Like,
love it.
And all I will say about Steve Kerr, I just want to bring this up because I don't know if it's on here. Steve Kerr complained and said that Dillon crossed the line on that foul, on the fast break foul. I don't agree with the foul because it wasn't a play. The game, basically, it was just a layup. But how in the hell are you going to tell people they crossed the line when Draymond Green is on your team?
Yeah.
How can you literally complain about somebody getting hit in the air when Draymond grabbed somebody's jersey and pulled them out the air? Like, Draymond's the dude that kick people in the groin for real. Like, literally kick people. Like, and what's going to happen in the next game, and we're going to complain about it, but these fouls, what's going to happen is game 3 is going to be marred by the officials because Adam Silver's already been on the phone and called these officials and said, you got to slow this down because I see where it's going. Because Draymond already made the comment in the press conference, in the post game. If they want to play like that, then we can play like that. Easy killer. Adam Sandler ain't letting that happen. I know all the tough talk, and I know you make $25 million a year. You can pay the fine and the whole nine. But I promise you, in game 3, there's going to be a star player that's going to have 3 fouls by the end of the first half.
Well, first of all, what the hell Adam Sandler got to do?
Oh, Adam, what's his name? What does Adam Sandler? Yeah, what does Adam Sandler have to do with it? I called him Adam Sandler.
That is hilarious.
I don't know what's in that vape pipe, Mike, but you need to change up the recipe.
I'll tell you what's in there, a little bit of Happy Gilmore.
Gilmore. Yo, do you know I really can't think of the NBA official? Hold on, let me smoke real quick.
Amir.
Silver.
Amir, I'm gonna need you to give us the Big Daddy version of this here. What did you think
Yeah.
about the game, man? We got Steph Curry, we got John Morant, man. We got people getting injured, knocked down, drag out. This seems like old school 90s basketball, man. Talk to me, man.
I think like you said, I think we, for the first time in a while, we have a combination of old school and new school, meshed together, which is great to see because so many of us who have been fans of the game for so long, that's what we've been complaining about. We like, it's too soft. And the guys, don't check each other. And there's no toughness and, all these Navarian things. First of all, to Mike's point, I didn't think that was such a crazy foul. It was, to me, looked like a normal hard foul. If you notice, he even immediately, after he fouled the guy, went to see if he was okay. So there was no malicious or malintent, anything like that. He just, tried to make a play on the ball. He didn't, catch the ball. He unfortunately caught Gary Payton Jr. the second. Lastly, I'll say this: Ja Morant has not only arrived, but he just is. He's a joy to watch because where Steph was predominantly seemingly a jump shot, amazing jump shot king. Ja Morant seems to bring everything else in there. His left hand is ridiculously sick. Like I've never seen anybody who makes that many dope left-handed layups ever in the history of the game. I'm like, everything that he throws up with that left hand seems to find his way into the rim. So it was really dope to see, this kid. And I think, again, this series is going to be a barn burner too. But I think Mike is right. They got to, kind of slow some things down so that hopefully we don't see anybody else get injured because I want to see everybody against everybody. I don't want nobody to have we didn't have that. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to see these young dudes go against it.
Barn burner. Set it on
Go
fire.
ahead, Claire.
That's right.
Go ahead, Claire. Go ahead.
It's kind of funny, man. I mean, I love the aggressive play. The one thing I don't like, man, and this one hits me hard, man, because I remember years ago, Patrick Ewing going down and breaking his wrist. And that took the Knicks out of contention. You know what I mean? And that looked very similar to what happened to GP the second, man, when he fell and he tried to break his fall with his hand and fractured his elbow. Mike, you look like you was about to say something.
No, it's so, and I don't, y'all took me the wrong way. It's so unnecessary, these dumbass fouls. Play defense. The reason why you were behind him is because you didn't get back on defense.
Right.
So now you injured the dude. Like, it's just amazing to me. Like Draymond got mad and hit that guy in the face and dragged him down because he didn't box out. So he got frustrated and he did that. So that old school mentality, and Fig, you bring up a good point. That's why Kawhi Leonard got hurt against Golden State when they were blowing Golden State out in that first game and San Antonio had them. And then they did their little thing where Draymond did his little foul play.
That wasn't Draymond. That was Pachulia.
That was Pachulia. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And knocked them out for the rest of the series. I don't like you just said, I don't want to see that. Because if it happens to Steph Curry, everybody's going to be up in arms.
Yeah, well, Steve Kerr already got mad when I forget who the player was. It rolled over Steph Curry's ankle. I forget who the player
last
was.
series.
But it was just recent where somebody rolled right before the playoffs started. Somebody rolled over Steph Curry's ankle and stuff like that and had him out. Steve Kerr said that that was. And listen, if you're an NBA coach and your player gets hurt, I expect you to come to their defense and say something in the press conference. Is it hyperbole? Possibly, because we know Draymond Green is probably one of the most famous aggressive basketball players that we have today because of his aggression and the way that he plays physical and stuff like that. So for Steve Kerr to say something, people sort of look at it like, come on, man, you got Draymond. How can you say anything? But at the end of the day, if you're a real basketball fan, you love a guy like Draymond Green on your team, and if he's on the other squad, you hate him. Like Patrick Beverly. You hate Patrick Beverly if he's on the other squad, but if he's on your squad, you're like, yo, that's my dog. I love him.
The game is meant to be played hard, and like any other profession, there's chances you take when you play hard. Like we all know, you could come down wrong, you could step on somebody's foot, you could, tear Achilles, rip this, break this. That's part of the game. But like Amir said, like we want to see cats play hard like that, but your intent is in the right place. Like, not the intent to, I'm gonna knock your block off. I'm gonna throw your shit in the bleachers. I'm gonna block that shot to the bleachers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a steal. I'm gonna rip it. I seen a couple of moves last night, a couple of crossovers that put people on their ass.
Yeah,
Play hard. We love that, but let's not go in there and hurt each other on purpose.
You know, the thing is that now Draymond Green, when he got thrown out the game, not thrown out the game. When he got injured, he was walking up the tunnel to go back to be checked out, stitched up, whatever, and stuff like that. The fans were actually cheering the fact that he got injured. So he flipped them off. Now people are talking about Draymond Green shouldn't have flipped off the fans. But listen, here's the thing. I know we're fans of our own team, right? But what happened? Is there a place where you draw the line when a player is actually injured, or in the heat of competition when you're going to actually boo a player? Because I know when I'm watching an NFL and a player goes down, he got to get carted off or stuff like that. The NFL fans, whether you're at home or on the road, the NFL fans cheer. And the player, if they okay, they put a thumb up and stuff like that. Is there a place where we need to draw the line? I mean, as fans, I'm only asking as fans, is a place where we need to draw the line where you're not going to boo a player if he's physically injured. Like you don't want to boo a player that broke his arm or got blood running down the side of his face. I mean, Draymond Green has that reputation, but do you want to boo him in that instance, whether he's at home or whether he's on the road?
I think it's this, man. Human nature is a strange thing. And you fill in an arena with 30, 40,000 people screaming fans. You can't control every little thing a fan's going to do. All I'm saying is the way you combat that is you give the players some leadway and some freedoms. They shouldn't be getting fined when they react to the severity of some negative. Right. If I'm walking through the tunnel and nigga, da, 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 and I say, F you, crack, or whatever, I shouldn't get fined.
Right.
I didn't go get you. I didn't go start with you. You brought it to me, and I defended and clapped back.
Mike, what you think?
I think Adam Silver, Adam Sandler, and Adam Levine they're all in a no-win situation. Like, I thought it was real heartless when KD got hurt during the finals against Toronto.
Yeah.
And people started clapping for that. I thought that was foul because we realized that this guy had a severe injury. Right. But then when you deal with Draymond, he's such an a-hole that when you see him walking off, he's fine and he got some blood but when you throw the middle fingers up, if you're the commissioner, you're like, dog, we're televising this to millions of people.
Yeah.
So it's like this damned if you do, damned if I get it. I get why he did it. I get why Draymond did it. I wouldn't want nobody cheering when blood's going down but then if you're the commissioner, you're like, dog, I can't even blur this out. Like it's happening live. So I don't know what to do. I think it's the heat of the moment, and I think people are starting to get accustomed to it. I think the fans will be okay.
The funny thing is that just my opinion that it's almost like they legislate NBA players not to be human and have a human moment and be able to react, in a certain way. But no, God knows we don't want them to run up in the fans. I mean, in the stands.
No, in the stands.
But I mean, I don't know. Amir, your brother played on the highest level ever. I mean, what's your opinion on this?
First off, Mike, you also left off Adam West. So I wanted to add that to the Adam.
For our younger generation, for those who don't know, Adam West was the original Batman. And if you don't know, Batman was first a comic book and then it was turned into a TV show.
Hey, and his young boy, Dick Grayson, whose name was Burt Ward. I think his name was Burt Ward. Anyway, go ahead, Amir.
So to get back to the topic, we what the interesting thing is as fans, the talent's point, and to Mike's point, we are only privy to but so much as far as the game is concerned. But the interesting thing about that is when you, again, like you said, you have a family member or somebody who gets to play on that level, you find out so much more about the game, including the players and the fans. And a lot of these arenas are very hostile. We also have to factor in there's a lot of drinking going on in some cases and stuff like that. And, so the liquid courage, unfortunately, gives people, the ability to, feel as though they're charged and they can say anything or do anything. And the reality of it all, and this is what always makes me smile about it, is when you really think about it, even the worst player is good as them. So That's why I always laugh about, any of it. Yo, you ain't just that. Son, you couldn't even check the worst player on it. And when I say worst player, I just mean the guys on the team who are not getting the light and shine as the stars are on the team. So please stop fooling ourselves, y'all. Let's be nicer to the players. They're out there doing a service, and what they're doing is giving you entertainment and getting you out of your misery for a couple of hours. So, let's reciprocate.
I love that. Hey, here we go, y'all, man. We coming down to the end of the show, man. We got a couple stories we probably should try to get to. Let's try to do this one rapid fire if we could. Sacramento Kings have Mark Jackson as the front runner for the head coach job, man. Also in contention for the job is Mike Brown and Steve Clifford. But Mark Jackson is slated to be heading it up. He's possibly going to get the job. What do y'all think about that? Big deal, no deal? Some people say the team is garbage, but I don't think so, man. I got a couple of names on here that's on their roster that I think are decent players. They got Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, Josh Jackson.
Oh, they got Fox over there.
And Trey Lyles.
They got Fox over there. You know what's so crazy about that? Mark Jackson may be able to help the young man Fox, kind of turn the corner. Because to be honest with you, I thought Fox was going to be the young man who's on Memphis. I don't know if y'all remember a couple of years back when Fox first came to the league. Yeah. He had that same kind of game and the same, energy. So maybe Mark can bring that out of him and get him to play, somewhere along those lines. So that should be fun if he does get there.
I don't have any advice for Mark Jackson with the X's and O's, but whatever you did at Golden State that got you banned, just don't do it again.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. I think there's really good, decent players over there. Trey Lyles. I mean, Justin Holiday, one of the Holiday brothers, stuff like that. Harrison Barnes was on the championship team in Golden State. So, I mean, he got. It's not like he doesn't have anything to work with. Talent. What you think?
First of all, Mike, maybe what got him banned was winning. Making a contender, maybe that gets a black man banned. But here's the thing: it's never good when people go, "Man, they all right. They got some people there. They got Patrick Brown,
Demantis."
This team gonna be off the chain. They got Lil Seymour.
The bonus is dope, man. Come on, man. I just messed up his first name.
I'm just messing. No, I mean, here's the thing, bro. It's the NBA. Yeah. These are professional basketball players. Absolutely. Any team given the right direction and, a dedication, hardworking players, great coaching, can be put in a situation to win. He showed us with Golden State. Like, absolutely. The man has a formula. He knows what he's doing. And if you go back to Mark days in Indiana, New York, and even in Toronto, he really was like a player coach.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Floor general, man, like a la Chris Paul. You know what I mean? Floor general.
He's cut from that. He's from that cloth. Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen. Unfortunately, man, I'd love to keep this going, but that was our show for today. Talent. Tell people how they can follow you, man. I know it went by It flew by.
We can't end this show on Adam West. Adam West was the first Batman. Let me tell you something. When Adam West moved to New York City, that's how they came up with the Adam's apple.
Yeah. That's why it's called the Big Apple.
I love how Mike just tapped me out. Mike just when you said 20, Mike just
Yo, I know this is off the cuff, man, but the best episode of Batman is when he had Catwoman on there, man. That was my favorite. But that's the kind of kid I was.
I felt like I was on America's Got Talent, and Mike just said,
No, I'm mad at myself for laughing. I'm mad at me for laughing. Follow me at Mike Shaw Comedy. But it was so hilarious when Taylor said, when Big was like, yo, he ain't got a bad team. Oh. He got Manny Pacquiao at small forward.
And Floyd Mayweather.
Man, that team gonna be great. Let me see. They got
Yo, if anybody get injured, man, at least we got security. Yo, man, how can we follow you, man?
I'm
So,
A-Rock Sealy down there at the bottom of the screen, and I'm Amir Sealy on Twitter and Amir Sealy on Facebook, man. Love vibing with you guys, man. This is the
Hilarious. Yo,
best
Tally,
sports
you
show.
What in the hell?
that was Frank, man. That was Frank. I'm comedian Fig, all social media platforms. We'll talk to y'all next time. That was the box seat. Make sure you tune in and tell all your friends this is the hottest show on TV. Peace, y'all. We out.